But it's just sent straight from Philly. Philly MC said they want that smoke, so we're gonna see what y'all got. Meek Mill, you know, you ain't got nothing but air and opportunity, so I'm putting my life like we all grew up in the streets and we try to be better, but they labeled us felons, sent us back to jail. I had to fight against that the whole time.
Would you be right now if you were just Meek Mill, who nobody knew, if you didn't have all these powerful people who raised your case up and made people?
I would be in prison.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
Meek Mill got to deal with what he got to deal with based on the relationship.
They sold him a vision but delivered a snare disguised as opportunity. Tonight, we uncover the hidden dynamics behind Diddy's mentorship and the subtle pressures that shaped one of Philadelphia's brightest talents. This isn't just industry maneuvering, it's a study in power, influence, and how vulnerability can be exploited. Meek Mill wasn't approached at random. He was targeted at a moment of instability. Fresh out of prison in 2018, with his career shaky and legal battles looming, he was seeking guidance from someone with authority. That's precisely when the offer came, not when he was confident, but when he was receptive. The method is calculated: identify talent under strain, extend access and support, then quietly shift the rules until reliance eclipses independence. What begins as mentorship can evolve into control, leaving trust and agency behind as a true cost.
Mill got to deal with what he got to deal with based on the relationship him and Puff had. Dressing alike, being cozy, Puff calling him daddy, saying little innuendos to him. People are looking at that and saying Meek Mill is wrong for saying no Diddy. But you can't tell a man how to spend his money and how to make love to his wife.
Gene Deal doesn't speak lightly, especially when someone with first-hand insight into the bad boy machine warns about real consequences. He's not talking missed sessions or contract disputes. He's highlighting the true costs Meek faced getting entangled in a system designed to exploit vulnerability, where opportunity was never free, only disguised. That pattern became strikingly clear on May 3, 2014, when Diddy spent $25,000 to rent the Parisian Palace in Las Vegas for Meek's 27th birthday. To the public, it seemed generosity. To insiders, it was an investment, and every investment demands a return. What happened that night wasn't a celebration. It was a boundary being crossed. Property manager Jason Hayes later noted troubling signs left behind, sparking serious questions about the night's reality. Even more concerning, Diddy reportedly requested special locking mechanisms on rooms, with access controlled solely by him, a detail that wasn't about hospitality or logistics, but about building control into the environment itself.
They came recently. This happened a long time ago, but they recently just made a statement that they found loads of cocaine. I wonder what they did with the cocaine, because they didn't turn it over to the police. They said they found loads of cocaine, razor blades. They said that the sheets were bloody, nasty. They found a whole lot of used condoms. And it was a Diddy party, giving in Meek Mill's honor for his birthday. I was like, yo, wow.
Gene's reaction says it all. This wasn't a shock. It was confirmation of what insiders had long whispered but rarely voiced. When someone who has seen the industry's harshest realities calls something deeply troubling, it signals that boundaries were crossed far beyond public perception. That night wasn't meant to celebrate Meek. It was designed to destabilize him. Once a symbol of Philadelphia's resilience, he became a cautionary example of what happens when vulnerability meets unchecked power. The shift wasn't accidental or gradual. It was deliberate, structured, and calculated, orchestrated appearances, staged moments, and visible demonstrations of control, all designed to chip away at his independence and credibility. And when respect erodes in the very arenas that built you, dependence fills the void. leaving authority and influence firmly in someone else's hands.
He kind of knew back in the day that Meek Mills and Puff was a little too friendly. Anytime two rappers or two people in the industry come dressed up alike on more than one occasion, listen here, man. My dudes in Philly, I got some real strong dudes in Philly. They don't play that shit. And they probably embarrassed for the fact to see that Meek Mills, one of the street guys that came out of there, got caught up in this.
Philadelphia's unease wasn't about bias. It was about seeing one of their own being outmaneuvered. In a city built on reading people, sensing power shifts, and recognizing when strength has been compromised, it was clear to many that Meek's independence had been systematically eroded and the confidence that once defined him was no longer entirely his own.
It's crazy that money, that lifestyle, and you trying to fit into something get you. These guys never set out to do all this shit. Meek Mills, when he got into the game, he didn't set out to be questioning about his manhood with Diddy.
That's the quiet reality of the industry. People aren't broken through force. They're reshaped through obligation. Convince someone they owe everything, and they'll endure pressures they'd never face on their own. In that system, success often demands the surrender of the very identity that built it. Meek's public unraveling wasn't a mistake. It played a deliberate role within Diddy's circle. He wasn't just harmed, he was turned into proof. Reports later suggested his struggles were showcased as an example, selling opportunity while silently demonstrating what compliance looked like. The psychology is precise. If someone of Meek's stature could be bent, newcomers felt resistance was futile. His visibility became a tool, transforming apparent success into a cautionary signal for anyone entering the system next.
Could promise a producer, if he's in a act, that he could give him a Grammy. What kind of power, who he doing, or what he know, that he could get that done? That's some kind of spooky shit, bruh. No disrespect. That's real spooky. If he could promise somebody. And good thing the kid didn't believe him, because if the kid would believe him, he might have got his booty hole tore up. So my whole thing about it is, listen here, man. He has to have some real power, but he showed us his power. Remember at the BET Awards? Remember when they was trying to go to commercial? And he said, nah, we not good. Whoever done that, bruh? Whoever stopped the people from going to commercial? Nobody ever did that, but
that Grammy promise wasn't unique to Lil Rod. It was part of a recurring pattern. The strategy was precise and deliberate. Offer recognition, prestige, and access, then quietly capture moments of compliance to cement loyalty and enforce silence. What appeared as opportunity was actually leverage, transforming ambition into obligation and turning success into a carefully managed transaction designed to maintain control.
He really don't know what was said, but the kid said he told him, this is somebody I admire, this is somebody you got high aspirations for, that you want to be like. Look and see what he doing. This is what you should be doing too. Wow.
Showing others that people have already been compromised isn't persuasion. It's psychological pressure, designed to make resistance feel futile while drawing them into the same system. Meek wasn't undermined for personal reasons. He was made an example, part of a deliberate pattern of exploiting vulnerability, creating obligation, and using that leverage to influence the next target. Seen through this lens, his frantic response when the story resurfaced in February 2024, after the Lil Rod lawsuit thrust a Philadelphia rapper once linked to Nicki Minaj back into the headlines, makes sense. It wasn't calm denial. It was visible damage control. Legal experts quickly noted the signals. Confidence relies on facts and measured counsel, while panic reveals itself in rushed, reactive attempts to control the narrative.
We'll take on cases and say, hey, this dude paying out this quick. He'll pay us $1 million right quick, or $300,000, whatever, if he wants stuff to go away. And I'm sure those insurance companies that he has that mainly y'all don't know is the one that be paying those things out. I try to educate y'all on is usually your company insurance companies that pay them out and make the decisions when you have the business insurance or the businesses, you have the different type of insurance that make you pay out the thing. Because by the time you have all the different lawyers and stuff involved, it's just as quick to settle a case. So that's unfortunately is what's happening to Puffy. Everybody's gonna come out of the woodworks. So I'm not trying to say that he don't deserve any of these lawsuits. I don't believe about Meek Mills. I'm a Meek Mill fan. I don't know what happened. I noticed when he talked about it though. Meek Mills didn't deny it. Like I said, I don't want to believe that that is true, but I'm one of those like y'all. When people don't say you motherfucking crazy, I ain't never did no like that. Then it's usually some smoke with that fire, and so I'm not up here saying Meek Mills was involved in that thing. I'm not saying Usher. Yeah, I am. Or Justin Bieber and all of them. Puffy gonna turn out to be our modern day. Oh, y'all about to get mad. He gonna be
Reggie Wright summed it up succinctly. Attorneys spotted desperation immediately, and desperation often drives costly missteps. Even more revealing was what everyone noticed. Meek never issued a straightforward denial. Instead, his response escalated, growing louder, more frantic, and increasingly unsteady, exposing pressure and unease rather than control or confidence.
He will pay $100,000 to an investigator to find out why his name is being tied in with the Diddy allegations. Back in February, Diddy was sued by a former employee for assault. The lawsuit included redacted names, and fans believe that Meek Mill was one of those names. The lawsuit was filed by Rodney Jones, and he alleges that Diddy told him he had relations with an unnamed rapper. The footnote of the lawsuit claims that that rapper is from Philadelphia and dated Nicki Minaj. At the time, Meek Mill tweeted denying the allegations that they were talking about him. He denied being gay or doing any drugs, and he made multiple tweets about this, completely denying that he had any sort of personal relations with Diddy in that way. Now, many months later, as Diddy is still being investigated, Meek put out another tweet. He says, "I want to hire an investigative team $100,000 cash to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill's name to Diddy's case. I also want them to look at who is powering the media involving Meek, anything."
Those tweets weren't a defense. They revealed panic. When someone lashes out at reporters for merely citing court records, it's no longer about clearing a name. It's about shielding sensitive truths. Panic invites mistakes, and mistakes create powerful adversaries, turning what looks like coincidence into clear consequence. In December 2024, Meek posted footage of himself unconscious beside his new Cyber truck, claiming a mechanical failure after the brake pedal detached. Online, many interpreted it differently, as a warning. In that world, nothing is random. Every moment carries weight, and every action comes with a cost.
Look at this right here. Why the whole brake pedal came off. The first day, I never seen no car the first day the brake pedal came off.
A brand new vehicle doesn't suddenly lose its brakes without raising serious questions. But the deeper warning wasn't about the car. It was a stark signal of how expendable Meek had become. The pattern had been building for years. Every time he seemed to step away from Diddy's orbit, trouble followed, legal pressure, stalled momentum, and now life-threatening incidents. The message was unmistakable. Security lasted only as long as silence was maintained.
Putting my life like, we all grew up in the streets. And we try to be better, but they labeled us felons, sent us back to jail. I had to fight against that the whole time to gain my respect and be who I am today.
Listen closely to his voice. That isn't ordinary frustration. It's fear sharpened by awareness. Saying, "They tried to send me back," isn't paranoia when you understand how power structures operate. It's instinct surfacing under pressure. But secrets with real value rarely stay hidden, especially once profit enters the picture. What was once treated as a safeguard of control can quietly become a liability, flipping the balance entirely. Material allegedly captured to enforce silence is now rumored to be circulating beyond anyone's reach, and Meek's name has been drawn into the fallout. Clear evidence that systems built on leverage don't last, and eventually collapse under their own weight.
Chick that's being shopped around, a Diddy and another Mill. They say the other Mill is an A-list celebrity.
I would wonder if he's white or black. And if I'm looking at any black guys that are A-listers that's bigger than Diddy, there's only one that I could come up with. And there's a few I can come up with. Will Smith. He's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black that are black actors or black in the business that's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy is black? That's hard to think. But then if you got the A-listers, you know, you got to realize he ran with that that Rat Pack, and I don't even say their names, but they said I got their names wrong last time. What's his name? Kushner. What's the other guy? Leonardo. Yeah, his name. Man, I don't keep up with these cats. But I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shot. There's some other tapes out there, other people too with him.
Gene Deal's confirmation carries weight because he isn't speculating. He's relaying what he says he knows. When someone with his level of access states that recordings exist and points to recognizable public figures, it shifts the conversation from rumor to asserted intelligence. The irony is sharp. The very material once used to enforce control is now positioned to dismantle it. What was intended to secure silence has become potential exposure, and content created under pressure or circumstance is now rumored to be resurfacing, redirecting power away from secrecy and toward accountability.
People that know him, a lot of the people that been in those parties and seen probably some unscrupulous that went down and was like, ooh, I was there. I hope they don't got me on tape. They feel in a certain way, so they're not going to speak on nothing until they've been approached with something. You got to realize when Homeland Security get their evidence together, they're going to send agents out. You understand? They might send an agent out to me. Yo, what do you know? What have you heard? What have you seen? What's been going on? You know what I'm saying? You know, did this happen when you was around him? Did this happen back in the day? That's what they're going to want to know. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to send investigators out. They're going to send people out for anybody that they can get some information from to help their case. So those celebrities ain't going to say nothing. You know, you got your man Stevie J speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ say that he never did this and he never did that. But ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exist. You know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who are his celebrity friends is going to speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
I think that the celebrities that may be worried is because what Lil Rob said. Lil Rob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, yo, bro, can you imagine he had every room taped and bugged, and they found little bugs or little tape recorders. I mean, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men.
What it sounds like on when Will Smith get in on video and camera and audio. I'm not trying to condone what it sounds like when Meek Mill get in that. You know what I'm saying? On camera, on video. I'm not trying to get, all in between the business of, Reginald Bill Johnson getting in that. You know what I'm saying? And all that other shit, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm talking about is some real gangster shit and some real G is, you know what I'm saying? You wanted that dick in your ass. You wanted that extra $1 million or whatever the case may be. And you can't blame the person that gave it to you. And that's Puff. Puff like the, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to blame that man. You know what I'm saying? Cause he like the, I was like, yo man, no thank you. That's simple, man. I got a couple $1 million just saying I don't want to tell your truth. You know what I'm saying? Tell your truth. You know what I mean? Like, I'm used to certain things, like, yo, man, tell the truth. You get, but if you want to stay in the room, man, you get, and a lot of people got Puff, fuck a lot of people, and it's not nothing wrong with how he them. It's all on video and audio. Yeah. And that's what it up at. You can tell me Puff going away for a long time, bro, but do you not hear the of Meek Mill? Do you not hear all the shake it off?
The industry's silence is cracking because no one wants to be the last standing when accountability arrives. Executives, collaborators, and longtime enablers are scrambling to distance themselves from a system they once upheld. But the most striking moment came from someone who knew Meek better than almost anyone, someone familiar with his struggles, pressures, and private fears. Nicki Minaj, who spent years close to him and understood the weight he carried, chose silence when it mattered most. In a moment demanding loyalty or clarity, her absence spoke louder than any words, a stark reminder of how quickly alliances dissolve when survival takes precedence.
Do you think it's a lot of undercover brothers in the industry?
Oh no, Queen! We don't know nothing about undercovers. Oh no! We don't know about that.
Okay. Because I do.
You said what?
Oh, I said I do.
A former partner speaks publicly about concealed behavior while you're fighting to protect your reputation. It doesn't feel coincidental. It feels revealing. She had the opportunity to shut down speculation, yet her words only amplified it. Even more damaging are reports suggesting the audio that ignited the controversy didn't originate from outsiders at all, but allegedly from within Diddy's own security circle, pointing to an internal fracture rather than an external strike. That detail reframes the narrative entirely, suggesting not an attack from the outside, but a breakdown from within, where loyalty gave way and control began to slip.
All the champagne was spiked, son. Like, all the champagne was spiked. Everybody was passed the out. I don't drink, so I was playing that shit off like I don't drink. I smoke. Like, I smoke and I had my own weed, but like everybody was passed out. Yo, Diddy had that man in the room. Look, yes, I put my ear to the door and I brought the phone because Diddy started going in overdrive. I ain't know what the was going on, but I just heard balls slapping against ass cheeks. I heard struggling to take dick. I heard being like, yeah, daddy. Like when he started all that daddy this and daddy that, and then I heard some hollering and struggling. Like, yeah, I kept the phone there and I recorded all that shit because I was like, this Diddy bitch. So
The bodyguard's account reframes the entire story, outlining an alleged pattern of manipulation built around controlled environments, coerced circumstances, and recorded moments later used as leverage. By that description, this wasn't a mutual or transparent dynamic. It was a structured system designed to exert control. Even more troubling are claims from an industry insider who suggests the harm went beyond emotional strain, stating that the toll on Meek reportedly led to repeated hospital visits and lasting health challenges that permanently altered his life.